Hey guys, how's everyone? It's a little new for me being in here. Okay, like I feel like I got in trouble or something. All right, let's get started.
Well, to just start with Greg Lynn's situation, just how, I mean, obviously you can't ever really recover from something like that, but just how have you guys moved on and just your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know if it's moved on. To be honest with you, this is probably not probably. This is definitely the first time publicly I've spoke about Greg. I'll be honest with you, my guys are not ready for that yet. So that's something we talked about the other day. They're just not there yet, and we got to kind of let them move at their pace with that. So it definitely has not been something in the playbook. Even yesterday, being the first day of practice, what I usually show is some highlights of some things we did well last year. I couldn't do that this year because Greg was in all of them. And so we're still trying to figure that out, maneuver our way through there day by day, and we're getting better. I think our leadership has helped with that. But last week we had a really, really bad emotional week last week. So it's just going to take some time. But I like this group. I like what they're doing, and I just kind of be real careful about when and where we do things now.
It's a transfer portal world now. How good do you feel about the guys you've added this year?
I really like them, and they're still trying to figure out, where they fit in and some of those things. And probably the most impressive guy so far has been Bradford, the 7-foot kid. We kind of took him late, and he's been just a great surprise for us, and especially since, with the passing of Greg, we needed that position filled. So he was kind of a godsend that way. But we don't want to put too much pressure on him in that regards, because again, you're not going to fill the shoes of Greg Glenn. And part of one thing we miss right now is his communication leadership. I mean, when you walk in our practice, you always heard Greg. He was the first guy, and so not having that, and we don't want guys to force themselves to be who they're not. So that's the one thing we're still missing right now. That who's that communication guy for us, and so we'll see.
Scotty Middleton, how is he adjusting?
Scotty's doing well. I think that if there was two guys, honestly, Scotty's only here. He was only here because of Greg. They were Florida friends and played AAU basketball together, and that's how we ended up getting him. And he and Percy are probably taking this the hardest out of all of our guys. Percy was his roommate, so they have their ups and downs. I think he's going to have a great year for us, and so we're excited about Scotty and what he brings. So. But we got a ways to go, but we're talented enough to be able to do that, and we just got to get through some other hurdles.
And you're going to have to play a different way because Greg was a unique skill set guy. How do you make that adjustment on the fly?
We don't think we have to make too many adjustments with that, and so we're going to still play the same way we've done. You won't see our 5 bringing it up, and you won't see our 7-foot center bringing the ball off the floor. You'll see me with a heart attack or something. But so we'll have to make some adjustments, but we're going to still do what we do in that regards. And so that's what the last few weeks have been about, and that's what practice is about, to find out how we make those changes now.
Obviously, keeping Rowan was huge in this world that we live in now. Just how and you do have some stability coming back on the roster. How, with him and the guys coming back, how important is that going to be?
Well, we feel like we've got the best backcourt in the league. I mean, in regards to the talent of what's coming back and some of those things, everybody added some new pieces, but we got an experienced backcourt that knows how to score, they know how to defend, and when you have a backcourt that's experienced like that, that's especially in today's age, that's a huge advantage. And so, we like having that, and we got some guys. KJ's had a great summer. Tyler's had a very, very good summer also, and so we got some guys that played last year. And then you talk about Percy. Percy's made a big leap, and I think Percy is. When I say taking this to heart, is where Percy feels like he's got to do more. And so we've talked about that, but I think this is going to be a great year for Percy.
And then I guess Curtis Williams and JoJo Moore, what are they going to add to this?
Depth and talent, and we haven't had this many guards in the program that I feel like can score. There'll be some times we'll play 4 guards out on the floor with either DB or with Percy, and so where we got more ball handlers. One thing that we miss with Greg is having that extra ball handler, and so what we may do is that you may see us play more ball handlers, so we don't have to rely on the 5 handling the basketball.
There's no playbook for dealing with what happened this summer. Just how have you what was your approach to all of it?
I'll be honest with you. You guys know how much I'm really shy with the media, And so, but I actually woke up not wanting to do this. I'll be honest with you, because I haven't spoken about it. So, I'm kind of diving into practices and all the other stuff and taking care of everybody else. But therapeutically, I probably needed this, to be honest with you. So I don't think my program can move on until I can move on in that regards. And so, but we're getting there. We're really getting there with it. So.
Is there someone that you maybe reached out to in all of this? Is any of your peers experienced anything comparable to what you had to deal with this offseason?
Well, it's interesting. The head coach at Omaha and I have been having conversations. They lost a player right after we did in a drowning accident, just like us, and they lost one of their basketball players. And so I was just talking to him the other day, and we're just kind of. He brought up something that we weren't dealing with. We brought up some things that he's dealing with at that. So we've kind of comforted each other in that regard. But to answer your question, there's no playbook for that, especially as a guy that is vibrant and did so much for us, with Greg. So, we're all kind of dependent on each other. But I will have to say the Tulane community has been incredible and helping the players and those things, and so and everything that they've done. So we're really appreciative of the Tulane community with that. And I know his family is also.
How getting back out on the floor with a full practice yesterday, did you feel like, in spite of all of this, maybe, there's a little bit of normalcy that's a good thing?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. I thought that early in the practice we were extremely quiet for one of my type of teams. And so, one of the things when you walk in our locker room, we left Greg's locker the exact same way when he left it. It will not be touched until after he's a senior, when he graduates with the senior class. And so every day when they walk in and they'll see Greg's things still in the locker room. And so those are things that we had to deal with. As I talked about the edits and things that we talked about of a year ago. And not only a year ago, Greg finished the summer with us. And so all the things that we did this summer has Greg's stamp all over it. So, but the players wanted to make sure that that his locker's not touched. It's not. It hasn't been since Greg has left, and it won't be until that class graduates.
So the intent would be on senior day that he would be treated like any other senior.
Yes, he will. He on senior night. He will say goodbye like all of our seniors that particular day will. Good. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.